Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you're ready to learn more about the technologies accelerating the adoption and increasing the transparency of the voluntary carbon market, because the Enabling Voluntary Carbon Markets track is where you meet the biggest game changers in the field, and actually it starts right now. I have heard that all the participants are ready for the presentations with us. I see the judges joined us, so now just give me a moment to introduce the members of the jury to you all. Here with us are Manuel Alamillo, Investment Director at Klima, Iris Jensen, Senior Investment Associate at Bilbao Energy Ventures, Dr. Michael Richter, a Senior Investment Manager at EWE, Dr. Alain Vedder, Principal at Lakestar, Dinish Ganisan, Investor at Equinor Ventures, Luisa Matos, Co-founder and Chief Innovation and Product Officer at Cleanwoods, Derek Higishahira, Principal at Acario, Christine Marie Kvalo Johansson, Acting Managing Director at Equinor Ventures, Robert Davis, Product Manager in Trading, Innovation and BP Technology Ventures, Atip Tantivoravong, Chief Executive Officer at InnoPower, Matt Neal, Global Energy, Resources and Incubator Lead at Endava, Maja Krystowska, Development Consultant at Endava, Axel Elmquist, Sustainability Lead at Verdane, Markus Lubscher, Director, Circular Economy and Regeneration at Orbia. The hardest part is ahead of me. Please give a warm applause for the members of the jury. Thank you for being here with us. Okay, so let's start with the session. The first company that will appear at stage and give the presentation is Sea Neutral. Please welcome new business and commercial lead, Tomás Ordóñez. Before we start, I will just mention that each contestant has 3 minutes. Perfect. And there are 2 minutes left for the jury to ask questions. So your 3 minutes starts now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tomás Ordóñez, co-founder, commercial and new business lead of Sea Neutral, a technology-based company that offers end-to-end decarbonization services for companies and their employees. As you may know, many countries have set so ambitious climate goals since Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement. That means a strong commitment for companies to achieve the carbon neutralization. But however, companies doesn't know how to start their own path in a cost and effective way with high-quality solutions. That's why we are offering a multi-impact solution that can be applied in any stage of your decarbonization road. First, with our software, Vita Enterprise, we can have carbon accounting. After the carbon accounting, we offer a wide range of solutions, mitigation solutions, such as energy-efficient programs or fuel substitution programs. After that, we can offer immediate solutions, such as carbon offsets or tree sowing. And for companies that have a large demand of carbon removals, we are offering investing in some projects that they can take all the credits off if they invest on those projects. In Sea Neutral, we simulate the offer and the demand. That's why, in one hand, we are looking for companies that need to start their net zero journey, but in the other hand, we are always looking for carbon negative projects so we can help them to come true. We have a focus in 2 main markets. The first one is the Colombian tax market, that right now is mostly companies that have to pay a carbon tax, so we can sell to them offsets and they can receive a discount rate of the carbon tax value. And the other market is the voluntary carbon market that right now has a worth of 2 billion and it tends to grow 5x by 2030. The last year, we sold more than $500,000. That is coming from selling 135,000 carbon offsets, 1 consultant study, 3 carbon neutral events, and the signature of 2 origination contracts that also will give us access to more than 200,000 carbon offsets for the next years. But this year so far, we have a lot of things to do. We already assembled a portfolio of projects, nature-based and tech-based solutions that have the capability of generating more than 2 million carbon offsets. We are already making our first investment fund for renewable projects, energy. We have already signed a new origination contract for a forestry project. We are carrying more than 600,000 carbon offsets ready to sell for both markets. And right now, we are ready to release our software Beta Enterprise for our first clients. The last year, we achieved our operational break-even point. This year, we hope to grow the revenue in 5x. That will be a 100,000 of EBITDA. That will mean 5% of the total revenue. This margin is going to grow year by year. We are a very capable team with a lot of skills in the development of projects in energy transition, oil and gas, afforestation, reforestation, and environmental, ready to solve any needs of your company. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I can take care of it. Now it's a time for the jury to ask questions.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Really interesting, and I'm interested particularly in the Colombian tax market, because that seems to be already very profitable for companies to engage with. So how can you, what's the kind of value that you've created for the participating companies in Colombia?
Well, right now we have in Colombia some standards that are cheaper than international standards. So we can make projects in that standards, and the worth of the credit is going to be like $3 or $2, and right now the carbon tax is $5. So they will receive with our products and our projects a lot of value, and a discount rate that is mostly 20 or 30% of the carbon tax that they have to pay every year by year. Right now, the demand of that market is 44 million carbon credits per year.
Thank you so much for the presentation. On nature-based solutions, so how do you make sure that your accounting, carbon accounting is right? How do you make sure that the project is there and didn't burn down? How do you make sure it's good quality?
Okay, we are co-developing the projects. That means that we already made some allies that are going to develop the projects, but C-neutral is going to be in every stage of the development of the project. We are trying to implement an MRB and all that projects, but in Colombia, we don't have all access for internet in that zone that the projects are going on. So we are developing more solutions that can be efficiently, and investors can see what is going on every single day in their project, like in the lifetime.
Thank you.
We still have time for a question, if there is one. If there is no. Okay, everything was clear. Thank you very much. Thomas Ordones, thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's a time for the Chief Growth Officer of Carbon Future. Please welcome Dominique Ludin. The stage is yours. Good luck.
Hello, everyone. Carbon Future is carbon removal you can trust. Carbon removal from the atmosphere to the ground is an essential puzzle piece in our common fight against climate change. Secondly, it's also a formidable growth opportunity, because to get to the 10 gigaton, we need to be climate significant. We need a growth rate that is TikTok-like. What could go wrong? Carbon Future started and said, how can we enable such growth whilst from the beginning built for trust? Because without trust in the market, we fear we won't get to the 10 gigatons, we'll lose reputation, we lose trust, and with that, significance. The main persona in the current market is the corporate buyer. So what are the problems that we're trying to solve? On the one hand side, how do we have reliable carbon removal credits? How can we bring price stability into a market that is still very intransparent and volatile? And how can I even access significant volume of durable carbon removal at this stage to actually reach my net zero targets? What we do is we catalyze innovation in carbon removal. So we have a catalyst program to help fledgling technology get to market maturity. We help track carbon from the air to the ground. So literally tracing the carbon from its production to its final resting place. And we help trade the removal credits, because in the end, money is needed to go to these projects to enable them. So we'll help find them a market. We build for that software that helps the tracking and the trading, so I take friction out of the system as much as we can. Our offering to buyers is threefold, I would say. Spot and long-term purchase of the removal credits to really enable these projects to have reliable revenues. We do also insetting, so if companies want to have their own projects in their value chain to use the removal credits for their own accounting. And project finance, because in the end, a lot of the projects require finance to actually get started. In terms of traction, we're happy that we're covering about 25% of the durable carbon removal market so far. It's a small market, we need to grow. We're roughly on a speed of tripling every year, both in terms of the gross revenue, but mainly also like by the carbon removal transactions that we enable. We think that we'll reach the megaton within the next 18 months, both sides of the marketplace, and just try to be a significant player holding up the quality in this market together with all the other players required to be successful. We have a team of scientists, entrepreneurs, people that have done startups before, people that have decades in experience in Googles and the Microsofts. I lost the thing.
It wasn't me, I promise.
Okay,
I just stood up.
I need to fill the rest with the Q&A. Yeah?
No, the rules are cruel. So you had only 3 minutes for the presentation, but I believe it was excellent, and judges will agree with me. But now judges have 2 minutes for asking questions, so I believe you will be able to tell more.
Hi, thanks a lot for the good presentation, Dominic. I had a quick question. How do you secure the removal credits from the actual developers? What sort of timelines are you securing those over, and how do you essentially finance that?
We're trying to secure them for like a lifetime up to 10 years. So because in the end we see that like this revenue needs to be secured over a significant point of time. We have different ways how we do it. Sometimes we do it on our own balance sheet. In the beginning, especially to kickstart the market, we had to do it. We have a brokerage model exclusively where we kind of commit to kind of market, but like we're trying to be as long-term as we can.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks for a good presentation. You mentioned the 4 options for buyers in one of the slides. What do you foresee to be sort of the biggest bottleneck when it comes to attracting these users? Maybe it's a specific option or yeah.
I mean, the bottleneck that we see is a lot is kind of like, okay, it comes from a voluntary action. I want to kind of go ahead. What I want to avoid is reputational loss. So like that we build for quality and make it all transparent. So I think that's just part of the game that we need to do. I think an obstacle at times is price. Like carbon removal, durable carbon removal is still $100 upwards. So I think an obstacle, like if we said we need to do everything of your net zero strategy with carbon removal, it's a very hard value proposition. So typically we take a portfolio approach and just help them kind of scale this part of durable carbon removal over time. So in that sense, that's also like where we have the adjacencies with the classic nature-based solutions. But I guess that really kind of like helping them navigate or like having trust in the system, that's what we try to build for, and then kind of ensure that they know they can start small and kind of grow over time. To 2030, that's, I guess, another approach to solve the problem.
Yeah, maybe one last question. You mentioned the trust multiple times as a key value proposition, but I haven't really understood how you're securing that trust, and how much does it cost you per ton to have that trust?
Very good question, thank you. So in the tracking solution that we have, there's a couple of elements that play into it. One is the physical tracking of the carbon in the reality. Take a biochar project. From the pyrolysis plant to the field where it lays to rest, like we track it physically, so that's kind of in the big bags with QR codes, like really kind of making sure that we account for the whole chain of custody of the carbon's lifetime. Secondly, we work with third-party standards because we feel like we definitely want to gather more information that the standards need, but like there needs to be a third party approving because we can't be the judge as well. And the third, in terms of like acknowledging that the ton is not a ton, sequestration curves, biochar like has a sequestration curve that from the beginning we account for that. We make sure we're conservative there as well, that we don't over-account. These are a couple of elements that actually are part of the tracking solution that the project owner should use easily. So we're trying also to translate the complexity of this market into an easy user experience.
Thank
Not quite
you,
there
Dominic.
yet, but we'll try.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you for answering the questions
Thank
and
you.
the presentation. Please give a big applause for Dominic. Now it's the time for the final presentation of the category. Please welcome founder and CEO of Eureka, Orchlon Enxesteg is with us. Hello, hi, and good luck.
Hi everyone, my name is Orchlon. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Eureka. So before I introduce Eureka, maybe just let's look at the scale of the challenge that we have in front of us. For us to be able to stick to 1.5 Celsius, we need to be able to reduce 15 billion tons of CO2 equivalent every year up until 2030. And what does this mean? Because for me, 15 billion anything, I don't really know what it means, but if we were to try and understand it in normal people language, so we need to be able to basically plant 40 billion trees for 10 years, take care of them. We need to be able to install and operate 400,000 solar power plants with an installed capacity of 50 megawatts each. And we need to be able to replace 1.5 billion cars, diesel and petrol cars with electric cars for us to be able to get the reductions that we want to get. But all of that seems quite challenging, but if I were to try and reframe the question, the challenge, and at the risk of oversimplifying, there's 8 billion of us, and if we look at the 15 billion tons that we need to reduce on a per person basis, where if we can get involved every woman, man, and child in the fight against climate change, we think that can have a much bigger impact going forward. And that's why we believe that everyone has a part to play, and we think that carbon financing could be a really great medium to enable that. So without further ado, I want to introduce the climate investing platform for everyone. So we want to make climate investing, climate action fun and relatable and exciting for everyone, not just corporates, not just NGOs, and not just governments. So on the platform, you'll be able to invest and trade in high-quality carbon credits from all over the world. You'll be able to offset your own footprint. So today, we're actually launching our platform. So go on Eureka to actually offset some of the footprint that you may produce by coming here. And then we're also building an ecosystem that rewards you for just being a good citizen, for having invested in these projects from Peru to Nicaragua to India to Mongolia, where I'm from. So we really want to build a marketplace made by project developers for high-quality project developers to really enable them to do the great work that they do on the ground, to make their stories heard to much more bigger audiences across the world. And we leverage technologies such as digital MRVs, machine learning verification, and blockchain traceability to ensure that the integrity and quality of the credits are of the highest quality, and then there's real impact behind them. We've got some great partners. We were just in Berlin, so we're partnering with Envision on the Formula E. Our team just won the Berlin Formula E. Scan the QR code, download the app, and start your climate investment journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's the time for questions.
Sure.
Thanks for the presentation. How do you actually make money for this product?
Commissions per transaction.
And which sales channels will you be utilizing?
What do you mean sales channels?
How do you reach your customers?
So we're launching our mobile app this week as well. So in terms of target, we're looking at Southeast Asia and Europe. So ESG conscious investors as well as crypto investors. So we think we can position high quality carbon offsets as a really great alternative investment tool for asset for people. So yeah, I'm not sure if that answers the question.
Thank you.
How do you source the projects for the investors?
Yes, that's a great question. So we have a team of 17, 18 people across Singapore, Mongolia, Australia, and Europe. So half of our people are engineers, half of the team are sustainability experts led by a chief sustainability officer. What we do is we screen projects. This is an invite-only platform. So we work with Vera, Gold Standard, CDM. We work with the Green Climate Fund. We work with Bloomberg New Energy Finance. We work with Silvera and a few other players in the industry to actually handpick what we think are the best projects across the world with the highest community impact, climate impact, co-benefits, et cetera. And then we reach out to them and we invite them to get on the platform. We also have our own proprietary language processing based, it's not ChatGPT, it's different to that, that does additional layers of verification around social sentiment. So it crawls the web for any reputational risks, any articles relating to projects and the project developers to make sure that we're providing the highest level integrity carbon credits on the marketplace.
Is there a maximum or a minimum investment in your platform?
So we work with both retail and corporate partners. So our corporate partners such as SoftBank and EBRD and Algorand Foundation. So right now, to be honest, we haven't set a maximum limit. So we're going to do a limited launch starting from today. So as I said, scan the QR code, we're upstairs, start using the platform. And then what we want to do is maybe for 3-4 months run it. And then we're going to take the learnings that we have from that and then take it to our regulators. And actually, we're hoping to try and shape as to how the voluntary carbon markets should be regulated going forward, at least in Southeast Asia, with the lessons learned that we try and accumulate as a result of this beta soft launch.
Thank you, Ocean, very much for answering the questions of the jury. Thank you for your presentation. A big applause. I keep my fingers crossed for all the contestants, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for judges to decide, to vote, to decide which contestant deserves to win the category. And we will know about it soon. After a few hours, we will give the results to the contestants. Now it's a time for a break, and we'll meet here again at 5 p.m. for the final track. So make sure you will be here on time. And have a nice break. See you at 5 p.m. Thank you very much.